Hey brewers, it's Friday. My name's Brad. This is Fucked Up Fridays. Check out the shirt. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew Sookrum, owner of Sookram's Brewery. One of my faves, if not my absolute favorite, in Winnipeg here. Today we're just gonna show you how to transfer from your brew bucket or your pail or pretty much anything that's not a pressure transfer into your keg and try to avoid as much dissolved oxygen, or DO. You hear DO? People talk about DO in beer. Dissolved oxygen ruins IPAs, ruins hop flavor, turns them brown. It's a fucking travesty, okay? So this is the most basic way to transfer. Like basically I'm gonna be using the little valve here, but it's essentially the same as using a siphon. Be the same process with a siphon, except for we'd have to open the lid, which I really try not to do. So first thing we do, we've got, of course, everything's sanitized here. We got our Star San. We sanitized our keg. First step, what I like to do is purge all the oxygen out of my keg. Well, how do we do that? We put a bunch of CO2 in there, and CO2 is heavier than oxygen. Boom, okay? So we're at 30 PSI. We're just gonna let her rip here. Get all that oxygen out of there. Okay, so that's quite a bit in there. So now we go. So just pushing all that out. So this guy's much lower. So basically now we've got at least a nice little blanket. Is this gonna reach for me? Not quite. I need to put that on something. So ideally in a perfect world, we'd all have conical fermenters and full zero oxygen transfer capability, but I mean, come on, like the basic one of those fermenters is $1,000. Nobody has that kind of money. So we're gonna do, I guess, the next best thing, the next thing down. Basically, what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna use this Kegland carb cap, and I'm gonna feed it. I'm gonna take off the airlock, and we're gonna pump in just a little bit, like 3 PSI of CO2 into there while we transfer. I mean, yes, some oxygen can still get in because we are gonna open the lid. It's definitely not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than just opening this fucker up and letting it go, okay? So, this is our Skulls Light, and I mean, I've been really liking the light beers lately just because I'm getting old and fat and drunk, but they're kind of boring, so you know what we did? We took Skulls Light and we threw an ounce each Citra and Mosaic Cryo in there. Yeah, buddies, let's do this. Okay, so check this out. So we're gonna take this. And you don't wanna use a lot because these are not designed, I'm gonna turn this down a bit more. These are not designed to take a lot of pressure, okay? So this is just so we're putting a nice little blanket of CO2 in there. And now I've gone too far. There we go. Just a nice little, just a nice little fan worth. Okay, boom, so as you can see, it's already starting to fill up, so let's let her rip. One thing I forgot was Biofine. We'll just put it in at the end. Trav's gonna shake the crap out of this, taking it home anyway, so the Biofine will get in there. I want this beer to be clear. As you can see, it's already pretty damn clear, but Biofine is always a nice little polish on that. Unless you wanna wait forever, but who wants that? We're gonna put this at 30 PSI and drink it on Thursday. Maybe sooner than that, I don't know. So I always like to leave the lid, kind of half in there. At least we're blocking as much as we can. Another thing you can do, you could put a ball lock or pin lock connector on this and transfer through the out. I've had pretty good success with that. I have had with heavily dry hopped beers. The spring and everything on the poppet in there can get clogged. It's kind of a pain in the butt. This one we just need something to sip on. We're not trying to win any contests, you know what I mean? But like if I was gonna enter this in the Pro-Am or something like that, I'd be doing some higher tech methods of transferring, but we need beer now. Ain't nobody got time for that. I kind of slack during the summer. All 3 of my taps at home are all dry. So I'm gonna get me some Skulls Light with some Citra Cryo. We're gonna get some down here from now on tap in the studio pretty soon, as soon as that one's done. But yeah, I gotta brew like 6 more times like this week. Christmas is coming. It's a heavy drinking family, you know what I'm saying? There we go. We're about halfway. So even with our massive dry hop in there, we're still nice and clear. That's always a good sign. So like if you had just a pail, you could do exactly what I'm doing now. Just put it in the hole of that bung. You know, trying to get that blanket. I mean, doing, you know, siphoning it's great for most beers, which are hop forward, just not the greatest. This is still better. But I mean, do what you got to do. Any tools will work. It's just don't age your IPAs after you've siphoned them into your keg. If you've siphoned them in, you drink that fucker in 2 weeks before it turns brown, okay? See, I can't even see where we're at because of our nice blanket of CO2. This little bit of pressure that I'm putting on too, it's only like 2-3 psi, but it helps it flow a little quicker. You know, time is money. Anything that can get her done a little quicker. We all got better things to do. Oh, okay, we're getting near to the end, so I'm gonna give her a little tilt. Getting there. See, this way too, we got those little bubbles coming in. That would have been oxygen, now we're pretty solid, it's CO2 that's popping in there, so that's a positive development. I think I might have put the pickup tube facing up so we're not getting everything that we need to get here. All right, and there you have it. Kill that one. And now, get that out. Normally I would just close this up as quick as I can, but I want to get a bit of biofine in there. Also, this little drippings when you got a really hop forward beer, not really a good plan because that's just chock full of oxygen. Let's have a smell, all right? Smells nice. And some biofine. Biofine clear. I usually go about 10 milliliters. Okay. Now we close her up. Now, pro tip, when you are closing up these kegs, and a lot of people think you just go like this and then you're good to go. And I mean, logic would tell you that that's probably good, right? Best way to do it is let the pressure seat it for you. So I'm just gonna hold it like this, and I'm gonna hook up my pressure. And now, it's going nowhere. I don't even need to latch this if I don't want to. We know we've got a perfect seal. And then last thing you wanna do, because now we definitely got some oxygen in the headspace, purge it, purge it, purge it again. And then boom, we're thirsty, so we're gonna do the 30 PSI 2 days thing, but that's it. Beer transferred, time for cleanup, and then a sippy poo. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you think I'm at least teaching you at minimum what not to do, right? Come on, help a brother out. Love you.